about to head to the yard right now. I'm gonna tell you guys this, man. As long as you don't quit, amazing things will always happen, dog. Like things will always happen as long as, and that's just the honest truth. It's gonna require a lot of consistency. It's gonna require a lot of resistance. Really, the hard part is keeping a good mindset of certain times. You know what I'm saying? Like while you're overcoming whatever it is that you're over, like you have to ask yourself before you start any endeavor. You got to ask yourself, am I willing to go through the crap? Does that make sense? You got to ask yourself, am I willing to go through the crap? Because the crap is gonna come. So you got to ask yourself, am I willing to go through it before you start any endeavor? Because I promise, the second that you get sold on an opportunity, that's the easy part. Making the decision to do something is actually the easy part. That's the part where everybody essentially starts. Oh, I could do this, or oh, I could do that, or that's easy. That's the easy part. What's hard is how are you gonna handle adversity? That's what you gotta figure out. Is how are you gonna handle adversity? So I want you to ask yourself this right now. How am I going to handle adversity? I want you to word it in that way. How am I going to handle adversity? Whatever business model, whatever endeavor you want to approach, I want you to ask yourself, how am I going to handle adversity? Because I promise you right now, adversity will come. The next thing I quick want to touch on is who's in your circle. In this day and age, I'm not gonna get all tinfoil hat, but I will say this: if you're a young man, the likelihood of you having a strong corner is very slim. In fact, the older you get, the more time you have on Earth, the least amount of success that you have growing up will dictate the amount of people that you have access to. So what I mean is, when you're young, you have a promising future. You play sports. A lot of people are gonna gravitate to you because you have good energy. Because you have good energy, because you have good energy, because you have good energy, you have a promising future. So a lot of people by default they're just gonna either want to help because of the future that you have or potential future that's ahead of you. But as you get older, if you don't accomplish these goals, if you don't follow through on the dream that people anticipated for you to follow through on, all of a sudden you stop having as much support as you once had. So the truth is, how much value are you giving to the world? Because in a man's world, the connections you have is a direct correlation to the amount of value that you provide to your circle. So if you don't have a strong circle, I would strongly recommend that you begin educating yourself and start developing skill sets that are needed, and also a skill set that higher caliber people need. Does that make sense? So make sure that you develop a skill set, but not just any skill set. For example, I know how to drive a tow truck, but that skill set is a low paying skill set, meaning anybody could learn it. And granted, anybody could learn anything, but for the most part, it's a lot easier to tow a vehicle than it is to read, sit down, and educate yourself on how to market, how to understand marketing, how to run an ad, how to understand copywriting, right? So with that being said, guys, I strongly recommend that you continue pushing forward. You make the best of your time here on earth. Just remember that nobody is coming to save you, my friend. Nobody. It's 100% up to you to make it happen. Okay? Um, if nobody has told you, this within the last week, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm gonna take the time to use this platform for good, and I'm gonna tell you this: if nobody has told you that you're not alone, I'm here to tell you that you're not alone. I just came back from a mastermind in Miami, and the reason I pivoted to what I was talking about earlier about brothers and a back and a group of men in your corner. The reason I was talking about that is because I was in a mastermind, like I mentioned, and this is not the first time I met up with my brothers, but this is the first time that I said it to them as a group. And before me meeting up with these guys, man, I used to drive truck over the road, as most of you know that have followed my videos. And I also, I also, uh, I also, you know, I went a lot of years with just eating by myself, and for a long time, I really couldn't understand. Don't get it twisted. At the time, I was just doing what I had to do. It wasn't a big issue, but I started to realize how disconnected I was to society, how disconnected I was to the world when I actually got around people again. And yeah, people could be annoying at times. Sometimes you're like, you know what? It always comes with problems, but that's what this is about, man. So I quickly realized that I don't want to go through this world, this thing that we call life. I don't want to go through this thing called life by myself. And we had a retreat. We went to Miami maybe a year ago, and for the first time, and even before I was driving trucks, even before that, I mean, it was anytime we ate dinner as a family, it wasn't really together, bro. I can't even remember the day. I remember we did it, but probably it was a broken sit down. It wasn't even. It was just not something that was common. But when I actually sat down for the first time with my brothers, this was like a year ago. We all sat down on a big ass table and we just ate. And that was the first time that we got together as a group. And we just ate, bro. We was eating, getting to know each other, fucking laughing, having fun, just talking. And this past weekend, I went to another retreat with my brothers. This time it was even better. We've already established relationships. We know each other a little better. We've been on Zoom calls together, and we linked up. We did. We went. We had a good time on the yacht. We we had a good time on the yacht. We went to a couple places together. We ate, and we all stayed in one big place. And bro, the amount of laughter that I had that weekend, fucking crazy, bro. I mean, non-stop comedic moments. I mean, it was just fucking epic, epic. And I shared it with my brothers. That bro, it was like the first that first meeting. I just told them all at once, like, bro, that shit it meant a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? So why I say this is because you need that in your life, guys. You absolutely need that in your life. And if you don't have that, I strongly encourage you to start finding a community of like-minded individuals, like-minded men, specifically men that are gonna hold you accountable for you to hold hold you accountable to your goals, to what you say, whether it whether if it's a fitness goal that you're after. Instead of you just telling yourself, "Oh, I'm gonna accomplish X, Y, Z," you tell your brother, you tell one of your accountability brothers, what is it that you're after, right? Get a chance to go out with your brothers. You know what I'm saying? One of the biggest mistakes I believe that we men that we make is, you know, we do so much for women, by the way. One of the biggest mistakes I think that we make is getting into a relationship with a chick without having lived life by yourself. What I mean is, by the time, we're in high school, whatever age you start dating, let's just use high school. And then after those relationships, let's say for example you break up, immediately you get into another relationship, or maybe within 3, 4 months. We never give ourselves time to breathe. And by the time you know it, we're getting out of high school, let's say we go to college, or even if we don't go to college, we are always with someone. And I always, I didn't know this at first, but if you're ever gonna cohabitate in a relationship, if you're a man, let that woman live with you, number one. But if if you're worried about credit and messing up your credit and all that, bro, that's worth more than what's gonna happen if messing up your credit is actually smarter. Is worth is actually worth messing up your credit than living with a girl. I'm telling you guys, like, usually I know this mentality. I know some people are like, man, fuck that. She gonna put it on her name. Nah, dog. She lives with you, dog. She lives with you. So sacrifice whatever you have to do, and she lives with you. Okay? Make sure that you make that the foundation. But what I was gonna say is, we never let ourselves time to breathe. We never give ourselves time to breathe. So out of high school, we in different relationships, and then we get into like adult life, and we're living with people without having known how to live on our own. So I say all of that to say this: to slow down, and it's okay to be alone for a while. You don't have to be alone forever, but it's okay to be alone for a while and get to know yourself, get to know that foundation of yourself and how you operate and what makes you tick. And with that, I'm about to go inside of the store and get some ice and water. But I believe in you. But that doesn't matter as long as that doesn't matter, because what is most important is that you believe in yourself. Keep growing, keep developing,